What's happening, guys and girls? Acrinator here, and welcome to another episode of World of Warcraft Dungeon Overview. Today we're going to be starting on a brand new dungeon hub for the world of Outland, specifically Coilfang Reservoir. The first dungeon on our list is the Slave Pens. I'm going to be running through it with my arms warrior you see here, so with that being said, let's dive straight into it. What was once a vast ocean on the world of Draenor turned into a fungal jungle when the planet sundered into modern-day Outland. The Zangar Sea transformed into Zangar Marsh, and is now one of the only places where life can prosper. When Illidan Stormrage ventured to Outland in order to find refuge from the Legion and those on Azeroth who would wish to oppose him, he brought a few comrades with him. One of those allies was Lady Vashj, head handmaiden to Queen Azshara of the Naga, as well as many of her Coilfang Naga. Vashj agreed to help Illidan take over Outland and fight back the Legion at whatever cost. Since obtaining their initial goal of conquering the Broken World, Illidan's forces have become more concerned with bolstering their forces in order to prepare for the fight against the Legion. Vashj and her Coilfang have taken to Zangar Marsh and have begun pumping all the water from the surrounding areas into one giant reservoir near the center of the region. Massive steam-powered constructs have been erected in order to achieve their goal, and the Naga have taken to subjugating anyone they can find snooping around their operations. The Slave Pens is one of the larger wings within the Coilfang compound found underneath the reservoir, where those unlucky few to be subjugated are sent to mine ores from the caves underneath the lakebed, and help to construct more of the monstrous pipelines. The Slave Pens is a level 60 to 69 dungeon with a level 70 heroic mode, which is what we'll be going through today, located near the northern central portion of Zangar Marsh. It's kind of hard to miss where the entrance to this hub is, since you just head towards the giant Naga construct towering out of the center of the massive lake. You can't miss it. Make your way to the construct and then dive underneath the water once you get close. You'll notice that there's a large pipe that you can swim down through. Keep going until you make your way to the caverns underneath. Don't worry about your breath running out, you should have plenty of time before that happens. When you get back on dry land, you'll notice that there's a wide array of different pathways for which you can go through. The one straight ahead behind the waterfall leads to the raid, so don't worry about that one for now. The Slave Pens will be the furthest path on your left, so just head down that way and you'll find it in no time. Mennu is one of the Broken, a subrace of Draenei who are overcome with grief and demonic energies, causing them to devolve partially. When the Naga first invaded Zangar Marsh, you can imagine they immediately tried to snatch up as many slaves as possible. Because of this, many fled Zangar Marsh for safer places. Mennu, on the other hand, welcomed the Serpentine newcomers with open arms. As a reward for his cooperation, he was given lordship over his enslaved brethren. What a guy. As you're making your way to the boss, make sure that you be careful about how many mobs you pull at a time. The casters are especially powerful and you can easily wipe here if you begin to go in over your head. Another thing to look out for is once you make your way to the boss room, Mennu will be walking up and down the ramp heading to the second floor. It's probably in your best interest to wait for him to go upstairs before clearing the trash down below. It just makes things simpler when engaging him. As for the actual fight mechanics, Mennu is a shaman, meaning that he can summon a variety of totems. Just make sure to kill the totems as soon as they're summoned in order to keep things simple and clean. Rokmar is an oversized crawdad that was able to benefit from the chaotic energies released during Draenor's destruction into Outland. Because of his immense natural power, the Naga decided to enslave and train the beast to subjugate the rest of the wildlife in the nearby waters. The only thing you actually need to worry about for this fight is, if you're the healer, watch out for the ability Grievous Wound. It's a bleed effect that ticks every 2 seconds until the target is fully healed. The bright side about this is that if you can dodge the first tick, it might go away on its own, but I wouldn't count on that. This fungal giant was once the ruler of all of Zangar Marsh, before the Naga showed up and seized control. As you can imagine, the king of the marsh was not all too pleased with his new guests. Though he put up a good fight, the Naga's torture eventually led to Quagmirran being broken into serving Vashj, helping in the destruction of the place he once protected. Quagmirran has a few directional based abilities, so be sure to turn him away from the rest of the group if you're a tank. Other than that, be sure to pop all of your cooldowns. The boss has a poison bolt volley that will kill you the longer the fight takes, so pretty much burst the living shit out of him and you should be alright. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, maybe even subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Links for my social media and whatnot are in the description below, and as for the comment question, what do you think the Naga were planning on doing once they gathered all of Outland's water? They never quite explained much further than holding the water ransom. My best guess is that they probably could have held the resources ransom in order for the other races of Outland to cooperate with Illidan, but I don't know. Anyways, that's all the time I've got for today, so until next time, don't die.